Good day, this is the summary of the chapter 10, which is the LAN security concepts. Network attacks today. First, we have the distributed denial of service, or what we call the DDoS. It is a coordinated attack from many devices called zombies. Uh, it is the it has the intention of degrading or halting public access to an organizations or websites and resources. Second is the data breach. This attack is which an organization's data servers or hosts are compromised to steal confidential information. Next is the malware. This is an attack in which an organization's hosts are infected with malicious software that cause a variety of problems. It's like sending a spam message. Network security devices. Various network security devices are required to protect the network perimeter from outside access and also from the inside access. Next is our endpoint protection. What is the endpoint? It is the LAN devices such as switches, wireless LAN controllers, and other access point, which is the devices interconnect and to the endpoints. Most of these devices are susceptible to the LAN-related attacks that are covered in this module. Next is the Cisco Email Security Appliance. It is the content of the security appliances include the fine-grained control over email and web browsing for an organization's users and block known threats. It also remediate against stealth malware that evaded initial detection. Now, Cisco Web Security Appliance. The Cisco Web Security Appliance is the mitigation of technology for web-based threats. It helps the organizations address the challenges of securing and controlling web traffic, and the Cisco or combines advanced malware protection and the application visibility and control are acceptable use of policy and controls and reporting. Next is we have the RAAA, which is the authentication, the authorization, and the accounting. First is the authentication. Authentication is it stores usernames and passwords locally in a network device such as the Cisco router. It serves as a server for the password and username. Users authenticate against the local database as shown in the and the components as the stands for the concept is similar to using a credit card as shown on the uh, next is the authorization. Authorization is automatic and does not require users to perform additional steps after authentication. Authorization governs what users can do and cannot do on the network after they are been authenticated. Authorization is like they giving them the rights of doing something into a network. Next is the accounting. It collects and reports the usage of the data of the network. The data can be used for such purposes as auditing or billing. The collected data might include the start and stop of the connection times, and the executed commands and number of packets and the number of bits. Next is the 802.1x. What we know is the IEEE 802.1x, which is standard for the port-based access control and authentication protocol. This protocol restricts unauthorized workstations from connecting to a LAN or local area network through publicity accessible switch ports. And the authentication server authenticates each workstation that is connected to a switch port before making available any services offered by the switch or the LAN. Next is the Layer 2 vulnerability. Network administrators routinely implement security solutions to protect the elements in Layer 3 up through Layer 7. Layer 2 vulnerability is all about the ISO model. They use VPNs, firewalls, and IPS devices to protect these elements. However, if Layer 2 is compromised, then all layers above it are also affected. Next is the switch attack categories. Security is only as strong as the weakest link in the system, and Layer 2 is considered to be that weak link. This because LANs were traditionally under the administrative control of a single organization. We inherently trusted all persons and devices connected to our LAN. Next is the switch attack mitigation techniques. Always use secure variants of these protocols such as SSH or secure copy protocol and secure FTP and secure socket layer transport layer security. Consider using out-of-band management network to manage devices. Use a dedicated management VLAN where nothing but management traffic resides. Use ACLS to access filter unwanted access. The MAC address table flooding. MAC address table flooding is all about the sending of messages or anything link that the attacker continues to send the link or message until it floods the information. Uh, all MAC tables have a fixed size and consequently, a switch can run out of resources in which to store MAC addresses. MAC address flooding attacks take advantage of this limitation by bombarding the switch with fake source MAC address until the switch MAC address table is full. MAC address table attack mitigation is it mitigate MAC address table overflow attacks. Network administrators must implement port security. Port security will only allow a specified number of source MAC addresses to be learned on the port. Port security is further discussed in another topic. This is the example. This is the interpretation of the MAC address flooding and or the DHCP starvation attack. Also known MAC address flooding is also known the DHCP starvation attack. If you can see the attacker which from the endpoints which is the PC, one PC and our user from other endpoints user one in which is the here are the access points of them in the core and this is the DHCP server which the password logins are stored. VLAN hopping attacks. A VLAN hopping attack enables traffic from one VLAN to be seen by another VLAN without the aid of a router in a basic VLAN hopping attack. The threat actor configures a host to act like a switch to take advantage of the automatic tracking port feature enabled by default on most switch ports. VLAN double tagging attack. A threat actor in specific situations could embed a hidden 802.1q tag inside a frame that already has an 802.1q tag. This tag allows the frame to go to a VLAN that the original 80.2.1q tag did not specify. Next is the DHCP message. The servers of dynamically provide IP configuration information, including IP address, subnet mask, and the default gateway and the DNS servers. And a review of the sequence of the DHCP message exchange between client and server is shown to that. DHCP attack is the DHCP stack is more known as the DHCP starvation attack. Or the goal of it is to create a DOS for connecting clients. DHCP starvation attacks require an attack tool such as Gabler. DHCP spoofing attack. It is the attack that occurs when a rogue DHCP server is connected to the network and provides false IP configuration parameters to legitimate clients, and a rogue server can provide a variety of misleading information. Next is our ARP attack. The problem is that an attacker can send a gratuitous ARP message containing a spoof MAC address to a switch, and the switch would update its MAC table accordingly. Therefore, any host can claim to be the owner of any IP or any MAC address combination they choose, and in a typical attack, a threat actor can send unsolicited ARP replies to other hosts on the subnet with the MAC address of the threat actor and the IP address of the default gateway. Address spoofing attack is address of it occurs when the threat actors alter the MAC address of their host to match another known MAC address of a target host. The attacking host then sends a frame throughout the network with the newly configured MAC address, and the switch receives in the frame if it examines the source of MAC address. This is the STP attack. Network attackers can manipulate the spanning tree protocol to conduct an attack by spoofing and root bridge and changing the topology of a network. Attackers can make their hosts appear as root bridges and therefore capture all traffic for the immediate switch domain. And CDP reconnaissance. The Cisco Discovery Protocol, or CDP, is a proprietary layer 2 link discovery protocol. It is enabled on Cisco devices by its default. CDP can automatically discover other CDP-enabled devices and help auto-configure their connection. Network administrators also use CDP to help configure or troubleshoot network devices. Here is the example of the other spoofing attack. The interpretation of this. There you can see the attacker. He sends the IP spoof request on the messages, and the legitimate responses of the victim and the UDP servers. You can see here the switches. And that's all. Thank you.